We do have a guest who's joining us this morning. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
I'm not too bad, darling. How are you?
I'm not too bad, but try and hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, my friend has sent you some stuff about the landlord that I ran a place from him on the 18th of last month, and
Mm-hmm.
I supposed to move in on the 29th. So I
Mm-hmm.
went like 2 days before to get the keys, and he told me I had to wait because him and my wife were deciding something about the
Mm-hmm.
house. So I said okay. So I waited, and I went back on Tuesday when my husband come, and they said must check him at 1 o'clock. I check him at
Mm-hmm.
1, and they gave me an agreement. She don't want the 13 was doing it in installments. I find the next 2 weeks to $500.
Mm-hmm.
She don't want that. She want 18. So I asked him where can I have my money back? He said he took it and paid his house insurance with it, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's right. And I I
So
took it to the police station the next day.
let me just understand, right? So you gave this person some
1800 $1,300.
okay.
His name is
And
Samuel Campbell. He live in Savannah
right.
in Moonville. Mm-hmm.
So you gave him
Yeah, part of it.
part of the deposit money, and then you were going
Yes,
to
ma'am.
give him the balance of it, basically.
Yeah, in
Okay.
2 weeks' time,
So
the fire. He
yeah.
said it was
So
okay.
so
And then I had paid in 3 installments for
all
the
right.
deposit.
So
He said I could
it
do it that
said
way.
yeah. So this is what your friend sent me Tuesday. Said,
Yeah.
good afternoon, Sandra. I have a friend who needs your assistance with collecting her rent money. She's struggling to find rent, and she found a place for $1,800 plus deposit. The apartment was not going to be ready until August the 9th. She explained to him that she did not have the full money, but would pay him $1,300 to secure the apartment. And then when the rent was ready, she'd pay the balance of 500 and then pay the deposit over 3 months. Now, he actually gave you something in writing agreeing to
Yeah,
this.
he did it. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So,
Mm-hmm.
that has been provided to us. So there's no doubt here about, any sort of it's what he agreed to. So that's fine. You
Mm-hmm.
put it in writing, even folks, when it's on a little scrap of paper, like I'm going to show
Yeah.
you here, this is still a contract. Okay. So this constitutes a bona fide contract. I noticed he did it on my birthday, August 18th, and he accepts the $1,300. He says balance 500 down payment on a room cost 1,800. Deposit will be paid in full installments, 3 months, and then he signs it, has her name on it, everything. So that's fine. And then when you go to move in, his wife would not agree with the agreement that the husband signed.
No, ma'am. She wouldn't agree.
Hmm.
And he took the
So,
money and used it. I asked for my money back,
and
and
then
he
you
said he took
say,
it and paid insurance.
okay, yeah, you say, okay, then give me my money back. And then he doesn't want to give you your money back.
He said no, he took and paid his house insurance.
He
And
paid
I
his
don't think
house
it's right.
insurance.
House
Wow,
insurance with my $1,300.
which is supposed to be deposit money.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went to the police station the next day, and I
Hmm.
told him that they can't really get involved with landlords and stuff. So they still
Hmm.
called him, and he said I shouldn't have come to the police. And the man told him, Tonka Thomas told him, if she didn't come, you would have came.
Hmm.
So he said, but she need her money back. So he said, okay, I'll give it back in 2 weeks' time. And 2 weeks was just Tuesday, and I called him and asked him for my money. He said he's not
Hmm.
giving me no money because I went to the police station. So I don't know what
Wow.
else to do. I took it to the courthouse, and they'd run me up down like I don't know what.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
and I gave it him in cash. I didn't give him no check or nothing. I gave him cash.
Yeah. So you should be getting it back in cash.
Yeah.
All
And my
right.
daughter came with me, and she signed the picture to look at the agreement. She snapped the
Mhm,
picture, and she watched me and him counting the money.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to show your friend a picture of him because I do have a Samuel Campbell that I found on
Yeah.
social media. I want to make sure that this is the same one. He actually looks familiar. I think I've seen him around before.
Yeah.
So let's give him a call this morning because he doesn't get to decide to keep your money because you call the police. He must be
Yeah.
crazy.
And
So
then
let,
I
let's
called again. I went there Tuesday this week to the police station, and he
uh-huh.
can talk to them. He rough up the policeman, and she made another report on him.
Oh,
So,
really?
so I went to them,
So
and she got a
he,
big belly. She's pregnant. One lady that's there, and she came to me on Tuesday, and he
and
said he's
he
not giving it back to me. He told her, so she made another report.
oh wow. He sound like he
So
fresh.
I don't
Um
go in his yard. I just stayed away. I just called him on Tuesday. He told me no.
uh-huh. All
Now
right.
I'm hearing she telling me last night he rent the place out to another man, a woman, and two children. That's what I'm hearing.
Mhm,
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's give him a call
And then
this
I had
morning.
to take my husband, me, and my daughter and my son say, I can't sleep on the beach and I can't sleep in my car. So come in back home and bring him there.
All
So
right,
that's
what's
where
your,
I'm staying.
Not subscribed to a voice mailbox service.
so this one is going direct to voicemail. So he looked like he's not answering. Do you know where this man works? Does he actually have a job, or is his job
I
just
don't
ripping
think he
people off?
worked. I don't think he worked.
This number does not subscribe to a voice.
Okay, let's see here.
She tell me she calling me. I said, well, look, I ain't got the phone blocked, my number blocked,
Yeah.
so I don't. So he just hang up the phone. I mean, choose and told me I'm not getting it. So I don't know what else to do.
Okay, well, we're going to show everybody
They say
what he and who he is here this morning, because you don't get to do this kind of stuff to people and remain anonymous in this community.
I
That's
mean,
not
that
how
other
this
lady
works.
too. When that woman, she did he did after
Hold
scan the
on.
woman.
This is him calling me. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Hello? Hello? All right, give me 1 second. Let me try again. He was calling.
Okay.
Let's see. Mm-hmm.
This number does not subscribe to a voice mailbox service. Please try your call again later.
Thank you and goodbye.
All right, let's see now. Mr. Samuel, answer your phone, honey child.
What?
Mr. Samuel, good morning.
Good morning.
Sandra Hill here. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes, sir. We have Miss Magali on the show here this morning saying that you're refusing to return her $1,300 that she gave you as a down payment on a deposit for an apartment. We're wondering when she might be able to get her money back. So we have a written agreement. We have a written agreement from you saying that you were taking the $1,300 as a deposit and balance $500.
Did you call me before you?
And then you told her you spent the money on your house insurance, but you'd get it back to her in 2 weeks. The 2 weeks has come and gone.
Excuse me. You see, I am straightforward, you know. When you see people start lying, you know, I can't handle it, you know. If she can speak the truth and keep it like that, I'll deal with it.
So what's the truth?
Since she is going around and doing all what she's doing, I cannot help it. You have to just take it further. She said she's gonna put it on Mall Road. She put it on Mall Road.
Well, you're on Mall Road now because you're refusing to give her money. So I've seen the messages, the correspondence, the text messages. What else is there? What other truth is there?
Huh?
What other truth is there? You're saying she's not telling the truth. What is she not telling?
I would have to get a lawyer and deal with her.
Really, Mr. Samuel? You gonna get a lawyer. You owe her $1,300. You know how much it is to get a lawyer? So you already spent her money on your house insurance, and you're gonna turn around now and talk about you have to get a lawyer? Are you joking?
No. Look here. The point is
you don't sound like you're an honest man.
Okay, all right. Everything you want to say.
No, it's not what I want to say. It's what the evidence is demonstrating. The evidence is here. The proof is here. The contract is, you wrote up an agreement in your writing. That's a contract. We have the messages.
She is changing from one thing to the other.
Well, what is the change? What's the change? You told her you'd pay her back her $1,300 in 2 weeks after you paid your insurance.
Listen, she agreed that we agreed, and then after we agreed, she run to the police. Now she run to the station.
So what? Because you're not giving her money.
But she's not following what our instructions are. We following
because you don't intend to pay the woman. If you did, you would have paid her already.
Excuse me. You cannot tell me that you what you're trying to do, bully me.
Really, sir? Big hardback man like you talking about I trying to bully you? You have nuts the size of a pebble or what?
Excuse me, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get to the bottom of this and find out why you're playing games with this woman's money. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm not playing no games because she is on her own and do things what she is not supposed to do. And
what do you mean what she's not supposed to do? She can't go to the police to get help?
Hello.
You see? You see the freshness that these people come here with? He has no intentions of giving her money. How can you tell somebody they can't reach out for help because you're not keeping your word? These are the people who make Jamaicans look bad. Every single one of you who's sitting down here now listening to this conversation have to understand. This is why people have a certain viewpoint of Jamaicans, people like him, and making all the good people look bad. He has no intentions of giving this woman her money back. How can you rightfully tell someone that they cannot go to the police? Oh, she's not supposed to be doing things that she's doing. What do you mean? She has a right to go to the police and complain. She has a right to tell you that if she don't get her money back, she's going to come to Cayman Mall Road. You can't tell her that she can't do that. If he crooked, the police need to do better too with these types of things, you know. Honest to God. This is ridiculous. So you see, people like him is counting on the fact now, Miss Magali, that you're not going to be able, like you said, you went to the court system. You don't understand the court system. You know, he's trying to give you a runaround because of it.
Yes, ma'am. So I think I'm going to have to go back to the court. They gave me a name by Andrew, somebody, Pickers or something, to talk to him and see what he can do for me. So I'm going to do that today while I'm in town.
Unbelievable. Well, the small claims process isn't difficult if you understand it, but I think unfortunately, a lot of people just don't understand it, and you have to be able to put in the right forms and whatever. So here's what we're going to do, Miss Magali. We're going to post him up on Cayman Mall Road for sure, without a doubt. It's obvious this man has no intentions of giving you your money back. Now, anybody know this Samuel fella? I'm willing to bet that he's some big time man up in church, that he probably goes to church. And he's got church brothers and sisters. I see his social media. He's friends with, let me see who he got friends with. Danny Warren Jr. Danny, do you know this man? Is he really your friend? He's friends with Nicholas DaCosta, Damien DaCosta, Miss Julia from Water Authority, Selma Berry, Linda McField, Tara McField. So he got a couple friends in Cayman. I'm curious to know a little bit more about him and what he's been up to. Oh, he works Water Authority. This man works Water Authority? You have got to be kidding me. Okay, we got his digits. Ooh, honey child, this person said he'd been there for years. You don't worry, we can get your money back, honey child. Because I know Miss Julia not gonna let him get away with this. Damn thief. Miss Magali?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a couple days to work on this situation for you. This man actually has a full-time job and he's still stealing your money and talking foolishness on the radio this morning.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
My dear, I'm sorry that you had to go through this situation, but crooks come in all sizes and shapes and nationalities, and you just never know. And you did everything the right way. You got stuff in writing, right? Yeah. You had it witnessed, and look at this. He's still trying to crook you.
He have never gave me a key. I just looked at the place. I never got a key. I never moved in nothing. All I moved my internet box. And when my husband was taking it back out, he told him, must leave it. And he told him, no, his wife said, bring it. Because I got a month free, then I'll pay the next month. And we took it back in 2 days ago. I took it back into flow. Even that, he want me to leave. And I told him no.
Want you to leave your internet box. Wow.
Yeah. So I took it back to Florida. I don't need it. I live with my kids right now till I find a place.
My God, what a wicked man. What a wicked man. Jesus, peace.
He need to be locked. He need to be locked up.
Mm-hmm.
And throw away the key. Him and his wife. Just sent to say so, man. But and not nothing more I can do. I don't know.
So somebody else
And
says he
after
doesn't work there anymore. They retired him on sick leave.
I think he's retiring. And he said he not hurting for money.
He was
He had a nice
medically
truck. And I
redundant.
say to him, Mom, that's a nice truck. He said, yeah, but he tried to sell it, but he said he not hurting for money. So why do you take my money and pay health insurance?
He not hurting for money, but yet he used your money to pay for health insurance.
That's what he told me.
Somebody said he's been medical boarded, I guess, because he was sick. Morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, police pretty well. Listen, this situation, I can tell you that from now. If they have anything to do with the word money, if they have anything to do with the word money, they gonna first of all say that it civil matter. And number two, if it's a Jamaican they're dealing with, they don't want to deal with it. Let me tell you one thing I know about that. No, I'm not discriminating nobody because I'm looking at this out of my observation. I dealt with police more than anybody can complain about them. And the police, when they have a complaint about something having to do with rent, and if it's a Jamaican that is complaining, right? Listen to me, right? Because I've been in through this. There's a Jamaican that is complaining. I can guarantee you 2 Jamaican police officers will be at the scene within 30 minutes. Especially if they're renting from a landlord. When the landlord addresses to them and tell them that the situation is not so, the Jamaican take in favor of the Jamaican. So the police is in favor of the tenant now. When the landlord is right, I have to step in a little bit because apparently my grandmother don't know how to deal with these people. Although she's educated, but aggravation takes in hand with her. So let me deal with it. Maybe I can do education to them. If it has anything to do with money and the tenant is a Jamaican, they will settle if they can. But they don't have the authorities to do that. But
this is a clear case of theft, though. This isn't really a landlord dispute. This man has stolen her money.
I know, but I'll tell you how I'm trying to get to the point with this one now. When it comes to a Cayman and make a complaint, they'll say it's a civil matter with no questions asked. When it comes into money. So if the court can't do nothing about it, I don't know what kind of system we got here in Cayman. But the police is helpless when it have anything to do with money.
All right.
Helpless. I've seen it multiple times, and it's not only just landlord talking about with work and all these different things. Yeah, man.
Thank you, my dear. All right. We had another caller trying to get in, 936-2626. I mean, this is ridiculous. Somebody says they're so disappointed in him. I guess you guys know this man and you thought he was somebody of caliber. People are really showing their true selves. Miss Stacy says he's not a Jamaican. Sorry, we don't know him and we're not claiming him in any way, shape, or form. I wish it was that easy. But let me see now. Who is his wife? Do you know who the wife is? Miss Magali, do you know who his wife is?
No, I saw her one time. That was all, but I don't know. I don't know. I think she's a Jamaican. He's a Caymanian.
She's a Caymanian. What a shame.
I think so. And he's but she was off the island.
Good morning. I was just calling to check to see, just to clarify, is it not the case that when a landlord takes a deposit, it's supposed to be stored?
It's supposed to be, exactly. And every single landlord almost on this island does not understand that. It should be put in an escrow account and not touched for any reason whatsoever. Exactly. So the mere fact that this man can talk about how he has spent that on he has spent it paying his insurance is ridiculous. This demonstrates he's a landlord and he don't even know what he's doing as a landlord. Somebody got the wife number. She's a Caymanian. Who is the wife? Because like I said, when we import riffraff into this country as the Caymanian spouse, y'all better start taking some responsibility. Because this poor Caymanian woman now and her husband are having to shack up with their daughter and other people until they can find somewhere else, and they need their $1,300 to secure another place. We're not joking with Mr. Samuel Campbell this morning. Thank you, caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. I'm coming in to get my 2-cent piece on this because
give us 5 cents while you're at it, child.
I know the person that I know her voice and I call her name, but I know her very good, and she's a good friend of mine. And I'm sorry that this happened to her, but I 100% with what Alejandro say because I've had the experience too. And like he saying, I'm not bashing no nationality, but like I've been said, police are useless, and worse if it is one of their kind that they got to deal with. They're gonna tell you loan BS. They're not looking into it because it happened to us already, not with money, but with goods that somebody took from us, and all now. That not all. But if we had went and take action, they would have been right to my door to arrest you. And I told them straight, on no disrespect, and under the law, and I respect you, but I can tell you how it go now, and on is no good. On is only there for that government first. On that's to protect the people. And like I tell you, remember one time they had on their cars, and to me, I think they took that off, that they had. We care, we listen, and we act. You remember when they had that logo on the cars? And I tell them on the show, don't listen, on the don't care, and on the show is hell, do not act. And that might be why they take it off. And I am sorry that it happened to her, but it is, yes, it is definitely. Like that man says, when you give deposit, they're supposed to put that in case anything happens, you get your deposit back, but they be hungry for your money, and just as they get it out your hand, they go and spend it. And this is the kind of foolishness that they give you. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is terrible. And then, like I already told you, that people like them is hoogie, good Jamaicans, bad name, and messing up everything, because they always say one bad apple spoil the whole bunch, which it shouldn't be, but that's how people think, and you're not going to change people from that. So that's why I got, and she need her money back.
Exactly.
And I couldn't watch on my thing this morning because my iPad dead, but I think I know who it is too. And professing Christian, and like I tell you, not everybody that's all that. I'm not judging nobody, but not everybody say, Lord, Lord, like my mother say, gonna enter the kingdom. And they are congregation, pillars in church, goers, they not no Christian. Then I'm got a surname. I got more Christianity than me, and God know I'm not professing. I'm a big sinner.
Thank you, caller. What a hot mess. So I'm reading through some of your comments here. Miss Olive says, OMG, this man is terrible. No manners or respect. Oh, sorry. Miss Venice says, can you hear the audacity in his voice? Lord help us, we gone for sure. Stacy says, Cayman Islands have some of the worst so-called slum lords. Glenda says, can't pay her back, but going to get a lawyer. How stupid does that sound? Yes. He really got some nerves. I tell you what. He sound like he got nuts the size of a little squirrel, but he talking big. Evangelist Marcia says, no, some Jamaicans, not all. He remind me of this bishop man in Jamaica. Claim he was running a partner, and all now my husband can't get his half of his money. And when me or my husband spend the bishop want to curse us, you don't understand how people want to wrong and strong put on top of it. Man, pay the lady her money, give her a time and a date when she can get her money. God don't like ugly, and what you're doing is very ugly. These people is very rude. Shaka Zula says, morning, Sandy. I think you need to clarify what the law defines as theft for most of your audience somehow. Well, I think the clarification needs to be for the police because they seem to not understand the definition of theft. Theft can happen even in the context of a landlord tenancy situation. So I don't know if they don't even understand that just because it's a landlord, the relationship is a landlord tenant. That's like saying, oh, because it's a husband and wife, my husband can't steal from me. Of course he can. I mean, these police need to go back and do some training. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Sandra. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. My heart goes out to this lady, but this is what we get when we import paper Kimanians. And we have a tendency that we like to blame one MP and not blame all. I mean, every MP go in there, he grant or he give access to a lot of people in this island. Because I myself personally have sent you something on behalf of a couple of young ladies that is being abused by the same thing by their employer, Paper Kimanian. One is a corrupted, fired because they fired him from the police force, basically. And they're being mistreated. They're being not paid the wages from last year for the holidays as well. They're being threatened that they're going to be sent back to the same country they come from to eat shit. Who does that? What kind of people do we import here?
Yeah, be mindful of your language, caller.
Oh God, we're still on the radio.
Yes.
Sorry. So, we have it right in our society, and it's our people that is doing it. This man may be a paper Kimanian, right? This is when we're so easy and fast to give people papers and not doing a background check. So if we're not going to do a background check on someone,
but caller, you also have to recognize that some of them don't start to show their true colors until they get that piece of paper. So he might have been behaving all this time. They say he used the Work Water Authority. He might have been behaving. And now that he got that piece of paper and he got one little apartment, he think he's somebody.
Yeah, but maybe what they have to do at his company is penalize him for it. Maybe if they start penalizing people for things that they're doing to others, they won't like it. Okay, you're not paying this woman her $1,300 back. I'm cutting it out of your salary, which again, employers can't do that, right? Because a contract binds you to them. And that doesn't give them permission to take it from your salary because, again, it would be considered theft as well. But something has to be done. I mean, not one MP has come out and said anything about the consumer protection law. They have not said anything about sexual harassment. They have not said anything, which I'm very, not disappointed, but not surprised either. That, I mean, not even the education minister can come out and face and say, you know what, it's time for me to face these people and talk about these issues that is happening in schools with these children. We can't go to mass unit because they do what they feel like. So who is it going to help? You know what can happen here? Somebody can end up losing their lives, and then it's when they can decide to act on it, they can be too late. It can be extremely too late. But people can how to take matters in their hand because it's too much.
Well, that is why we really attempt to help people because of that exact same reason, folks, because, we understand that people only have so much of a limit. Somebody just said, thank God this wasn't my mother because he would be in the hospital. I mean, this is really, really ridiculous. Anybody knows who this crook is married to? Because like I said, if you import people here, and give them rights to be in this country, far as I'm concerned, you should have some responsibility for them as well. So I want to know who the Kimanian wife is because she's the one who claimed that she wanted to breach the contract. So you can breach the contract, but the terms of contractual law says you have got to give the money back. Otherwise, then it becomes theft. And to be very, very clear, the definition of theft per section 235(1) of the Penal Code says a person is guilty of theft under Cayman Islands law if they dishonestly appropriate property belonging to another with the intention of permanently depriving the other of it. Well, at this point, it seems pretty permanent to me that is his intent. He don't have no intentions of giving her money back. He's told her he's not going to give it back. Oh, he spent it on insurance. You're not supposed to spend somebody's deposit money on anything. You're supposed to put it down. And in fact, you should put in an interest-bearing account. But at the very least, you just put it down and don't touch it. You landlords do not know what you're doing. You're running a joke of a situation. And it is time that this government decides to put some sort of a tenancy control board or something in place to protect people. And at the very minimum, the police have to recognize that he has stolen this woman's money and he needs to give the money back. Miss Magley, with your permission, can we call the RCIPS this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
About this situation. Alejandro, we need to call the police, sir. You have another comment?
Yeah, no, Miss Sandy, I just want to apologize to anybody that feels offended at what I said, if it had did so. But I didn't specify it for every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, you know, and I just saying, right, with these type of situations, if that lady you're talking to right now was one of my elders, but she is still, but if she was my family, I could tell you what, a situation would have been dealt with proper. I would have been dealt with proper, and I don't mean it in a violent way. I just assertive.
All right.
That lady needed a little help with what she's doing. She's helped to you. Now, she's gonna get the help she needs. But in other cases, there's not a lot of people that could reach out to you.
All right, Alejandro, we're gonna make a little phone call now. Thank you.
You know, little points. But
all right, no problem.
Thinking.
Okay, dear. All right, folks, let's give the police a call because their degree of slackness too. What is their number again? 949-4222.
Yes,
I should have them.
And they have 2 statements. They are ready for me.
Okay. Miss Darlene says he's not married to any Caymanian. I can assure everyone. But who is he married to? How is he here? Police answering phone this morning. Oh, good morning. Yes, good morning, officer. Can we speak to a supervisor, like an inspector or superintendent? I don't know what rank is higher, but who do you have on duty this morning that we could speak with?
I think Inspector Brett. Who am I speaking to, please?
It's Sandra. You probably recognize the voice. Yes, sir.
Yes, the voice. Yeah, man.
All right, no problem.
Inspector Brett is in. Let me just check my office, see if he steps up before I transfer you.
Okay, thanks.
Hold a minute.
All right, folks. Jamelia says, what's his name? His name, Jamila, is Samuel Campbell. And she confirms that he's not married to Caymanian. He's just been here for donkey years. Okay. Thank God for that. At least no fool didn't marry him. Magnum Opus says, no promises until election time. Then they'll start making empty promises to those who are easily fooled. I'm curious to see what the PAC is going to campaign on, certainly not reducing the cost of living. Well, nobody can campaign on that, Magnus Opus, so don't be fooled by anybody who does that because they'll be lying. Yasmin says he's a wicked man. How can you rob this poor old lady? Yes, sir. Hello?
Excuse me, sir. Inspector Bess.
Inspector Bess?
Yes, he's here.
Okay, sure. Hello? Mm-hmm.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Can I help?
Hi, Inspector Bass?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sandra Hill here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I have Miss Magali Henry on the line here with you. And for full disclosure, she's given us permission to call you on her behalf. We were calling this man this morning live on the radio, Mr. Samuel Campbell, who took her $1,300 for a deposit, then said that he spent the money paying his house insurance, and now he's refusing to pay her back. Now, he has on multiple occasions, well, he said this morning that he apparently, because she's not following his rules, because she went to the police and she threatened to come to Cayman Mall Road, he's not going to pay her back. Now he's going to get a lawyer. I'm sure you're very familiar with theft, the definition of theft pursuant to section 235(1) of the Penal Code. This has gone from being just a landlord tenancy disagreement into theft because this man is refusing to give her $1,300, her money, and he has no lawful excuse under which he should be able to do so. She's filed multiple reports with the RCIPS, and she's getting pushback, as is usual, from your officers who don't want to get involved, telling her it's a civil matter. This is no civil matter. This is no different than a Judith Douglas. It's just that we only know about one case so far. We don't have to wait for him to get to 25 cases before we go, oh yeah, this is theft. Is there anything, sir, that you could do this morning to help Ms. Magali in this situation before I have to email the commissioner of police and ask him to please put somebody on the case? Because it looks like that's the only time that we can actually get these types of issues resolved is when I email the commissioner, and I shouldn't have to do that. I mean, your officer should know what a theft situation looks like. He's intending to permanently deprive her of her $1,300, which she needs to go find someplace else to rent.
She made a report previously.
She actually made 2 reports already.
And what's her name, ma'am?
Miss Magali Henry.
I would have to check the system to see the report and the circumstances. But she has a tracking number for the report?
What number, sorry? A tracking number?
RMS number.
Oh, did they give you any kind of number, Miss Magali, for that report? Miss Magali? Oh gosh, I think her internet just froze up. Miss Magali, can you hear me? Yeah, Miss Magali, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, he's asking if you have a RMS number, which is the number that the police put in their system for these reports.
Okay, his name is he's working at Bontown. His name Thomas something. I talked to him.
No, but did he give you any kind of number once you made the?
I have a email he gave me, but I talked. Let's choose to tell the lady that is having a baby. She's pregnant there. She put it in the system again.
Number.
Both I don't remember. No, I don't know.
Yeah, both times did you report it to Bontown Station?
I did it Bontown 2 weeks ago, and then I did it on Tuesday on Georgetown. And the lady that's pregnant,
she did it at Bontown, and then on Tuesday she came into the Georgetown station.
Yeah, and the lady put it in the system because he was rude to her too. You could hear his love and say he's not giving it back. He told her.
So he's told one of your officers he has no intentions of giving back the money.
She's a lady that's having a baby. She's pregnant. I don't know her name.
One of your pregnant officers, whoever that might be. This woman wants her money back, and if he's refusing to give it back, he's stolen her money. Y'all need to see about putting a file together and sending it to the DPP's office.
Let me check it out, and maybe if I could have her contact number. Well, her number should be on the system, and I'll give her a call.
All right, Ms. Magdalene, this is Inspector. Is it Best or Bent?
Best.
Best. He said he's going to have a look at it, and he's going to give you a call.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, Officer Inspector. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, dear. What a hot mess. All right, Ms. Magali, let's leave it there. Will you update us, please, on what the police is able to do with this situation?
Yeah. Okay, I will. All right. Thank you for everything. Have a good weekend.
All right, dear. You're most welcome.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
It's pretty simple and straightforward, actually. These officers complicate their lives and complicate everybody else's life. At some point, it becomes theft.